Yes, villagers, we're going to be talking about 4 ways for you to cope with anxiety. If you want to find out if your view is reflected among the 4, you are in the right place. If you're new to this channel, welcome to our village. If you're a returning villager, welcome as well. So, let's... Welcome to Garden of the Mind, where we reduce stress, improve our health and fitness, and improve our financial IQ every episode. Now, back a while ago, people would talk about having butterflies in their stomach. That's exactly the feeling that we're talking about. Anxiety is usually something that has to do with our feelings toward the future and us not believing that we are going to be enough. So here's 4 tips. Tip number 1, make sure that your vitals are on point. Now, what I mean by your vitals are your regular biological techniques in your body. We're talking about your sleep schedule. Make sure that you are keeping an effective sleep schedule where you are going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time. Mental health is deeply affected by lack of sleep or insufficient sleep. Another thing there is make sure that you keep and maintain a healthy diet. Try to minimize how much you eat foods that you know are not good for you. Different foods have adverse effects in our body, and some of them might raise our anxiety levels or contribute to other things in our body which we may not even be aware of. They don't call it junk food for nothing. Tip number 2, identify your triggers. What is going on for you when you get those butterflies in your stomach, or you feel like there is incoming or impending doom? Does this feeling happen while you are outside? Does it happen after you get up in the morning? Or does it happen when you have a project or something that you are worried about? Whenever it happens at key times. We have to figure out exactly what times those are and why they are coming up at those particular time frames. Tip number 3, find ways to stabilize yourself. Now, there are so many different techniques that can help you to stabilize, but you have to know your body and what works for you. One technique that I think is very, very helpful is counting backwards from 10. So whenever you start to feel that nervousness, those butterflies in your stomach, count backwards from 10 very slowly and see if the intensity of that feeling still remains. Another thing that you can do is what's known as deep belly breathing. That's something where you are breathing very deeply, where you are watching your stomach rise and fall with each breath. Research other breathing techniques for anxiety. There are plenty of them and they are pretty effective. Find out which one works for you. Tip number 4, if you've tried your best to identify exactly when these things are happening and try to find out a way to stabilize yourself or a technique, and things still don't seem to be working, then let's not rule out professional help. Look for a therapist that specializes in anxiety and can help you to identify some of those things that you are experiencing. It's natural for us to feel anxious about certain things, especially when we're not sure how they're going to turn out. And if we feel like somehow or another we may not be able to measure up. If you've tried various techniques and have not been able to stabilize your feelings on your own, certainly seek professional assistance. There are certain times where our mind may seem to get away from us, meaning we're pressing the remote control buttons, but our mind is not responding. Some of those situations can come when you experience some trauma. So if you experience some trauma, there are certain ways that your body reacts. So it may be typical for you to have nightmares, for you to continue to replay exactly what took place, or maybe for you not to visit places very similar to where you've experienced the trauma. These are times where it's necessary for you to see a professional. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you want to know when I post, which is Wednesday, my apologies for last Wednesday, click on that notification bell. You get that ding on your phone, and you know that a new video is waiting for you. And remember, thoughts are actions, words have power, and actions have consequences. I'll see you next Wednesday. I'll see you then.